Come on, everybody. Let's go. Get ready for a summertime adventure from another Sommer-Time Story. This is the story of The Ugly Caterpillar, written and told by award-winning author Carl Sommer.
Speckles the spider, Andy the ant, and a crickety old cricket named Crumbs lived under a giant willow tree beside Crystal Lake. The three friends had lots of fun running and hopping and playing together. They swung on the branches and slid down the leaves. Sometimes they floated together in the lake on an old hollow branch. One day, while the three friends were playing in the shade of the willow tree, Crumbs noticed something strange. "Hurry up," he shouted to his friends. "Look what I found." Annie and Speckles ran to see what had made Crumbs so excited. "What is it?" asked Speckles. Crumbs pointed to a yellow egg on a smooth green leaf and said, "Look at this funny thing." "Oh!" exclaimed Annie. "I wonder what lives in there." "I don't know," said Speckles, laughing, "but I bet it's ugly." "Shh," said Annie. "Don't say that. Something beautiful might be inside." "Inside there?" scoffed Crumbs. "Nothing beautiful could come from that ugly old egg." For the rest of the day, Crumbs and Speckles laughed at Annie for what she had said. They did not know what lived inside that egg, but they knew it had to be ugly. What did Speckles say about the egg, Miguel?
It's ugly.
Yeah, Speckles says it's ugly. He doesn't know what's in that egg, but he makes a snap gesture. It's ugly. And they say, "Well, you don't know if it's ugly. And that's something beautiful might be inside there." "Oh, no, they say, "No, it's got to be ugly." And unfortunately, boys and girls sometimes do that. And I've seen that sometimes with food. Your parents bring you food, and you look, "I don't like it." You didn't even try it. At least try it. Be willing to try different foods. You might like it. And don't be so right, "Oh, no, I don't like it. I don't want it. No, I don't like the way it looks at it." Another thing some boys and girls, what I see, which is very bad, they don't eat vegetables. And that's very bad, very unhealthy. Vegetables are very, very important for your health. Also, eating different kinds of fruit. You know, it's important for your body that you get the nutrition from eating lots of vegetables and fruit and some meat. But learn to listen to your parents and eat properly. Unfortunately, some children don't, and they suffer for it later on in life. Every day, the three friends would climb up the tree and peek at the tiny yellow egg. They wanted to know what lived inside. One day, Crumbs reached the smooth green leaf before his friends. He saw a strange-looking creature poking its head out of the egg. "Quick!" yelled Crumbs. "Come look at this ugly worm!" Speckles and Annie raced across the branches. "Oh!" exclaimed Annie. "It's a caterpillar." "It sure is funny looking," said Crumbs. "It's ugly," said Speckles. "No, it's not," insisted Annie. "Just because it's different doesn't make it ugly." Speckles ignored Annie. "Remember when Annie said something beautiful might be inside?" Crumbs giggled. Was she ever wrong? Speckles laughed and said, "She sure was." What is Annie the ant doing here, Juliet?
She is saying just because it's different doesn't mean it's ugly.
Yes. She's defending the caterpillar. And you know, it's something very sad. Sometimes children pick on people who look different or they act different. Maybe their ears a little longer and maybe their nose is a little wider or whatever it is. They look a little bit different and children pick on them, make fun of them. Don't ever do that. Don't ever pick on people. Befriend them like Annie's doing. Says, don't do that. That's wrong. And sometimes children can be very cruel to one another. Don't be like that. And Annie's defending this caterpillar. She says, no, it's a caterpillar. Just because it looks different doesn't make it ugly. Let's see what happens now in the story.
Ha ha ha, chuckled Crumbs. That's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Then Speckles and Crumbs laughed so hard their insides began to hurt. But not Annie. She did not think it was the least bit funny. Soon the three friends forgot all about the caterpillar. They went back to their favorite place to swing and climb and have lots of fun. One day, as the three friends were floating on the lake, they happened to see a caterpillar on the bank. "Hello," shouted the caterpillar. She politely introduced herself. "I'm Katy. May I play too?" "Of course," said Annie with a great big smile. "Come, float on the lake with us." Immediately, Annie began rowing to shore. "Wait just a minute," shouted Crumbs. "We don't want you to play with us." "Why not?" asked Katy very softly. "Because, well," Speckles held back a laugh, "you're just too ugly." "Look at you," laughed Crumbs. "You have 6 little arms and 10 short legs. And you don't even have a neck. We'd be embarrassed to be seen with someone looking like you." "I can't help the way I look," said Katy as she began to cry. "I was born this way." "Sorry," answered Speckles and Crumbs. "You're much too ugly to be our friend." "You're not ugly to me," said Annie. She frowned at her rude friends and jumped onto the bank. "I'd love to be your friend." Crumbs and Speckles giggled as Annie walked away with her funny-looking friend. When they were alone, Katy asked, "Why am I so ugly?" "You're not ugly just because someone else says so," answered Annie. "My parents say you can't tell if someone's ugly just by their looks." "What do you mean?" asked Katy.
How did the caterpillar feel here? Deshaun?
Very sad. And then when she walked away, she said, "I can't help the way I look. I was born this way."
Yes, she's very sad and hurt, deeply hurt for what these two animals said to her, what Speckles and Crumbs told her. But you know, that's only two voices that were speaking. And sometimes boys and girls hear something and it makes them very, but there's only that person. There's other people that love you. Your parents love you. There's other people that love you. Don't get offended because someone doesn't like the color of your hair, or the color of your skin, or the way you look, or the shape of your nose, or your ears, anything like this. Let some things go in one ear and out the other. Don't let it go down into your heart. "Oh, I'm just a nobody. I'm just no good." And people go through life that way. "I'm ashamed the way I was born." Don't be that way. It's foolish. I'm bald-headed. I'm not ashamed of it. I didn't pull out the hairs. They just came out. You know, once I was your age, I had a nice head of hair. But slowly and surely, it got thinner and thinner and thinner. And I am what I am. This is the color of my skin. My mother comes from Germany. My father comes from Germany. They spoke with an accent. I'm not ashamed of that. I can't help from what nationality. I'm 100% German, but I am what I am. And you are what you are. Don't be ashamed of who you are and for what country or what the color of your skin is. Learn to accept yourself the way the good Lord made you. You'll be a lot happier if you do that.
What you look like on the outside isn't as important as what you look like on the inside, explained Annie. Things like love and kindness, honesty and goodness, those are the important things that make someone beautiful. "I feel so much better," said Katy. "I'm sure glad you're my friend." "And I'm glad you're my friend, too," answered Annie. "Let's get something to eat," said Katy. "I'm hungry." From then on, Annie and Katy were the best of friends. They met every day and played together. After playing, they would climb up the willow tree and eat.
Annie the ant told the caterpillar, what you look like on the outside isn't as important as you look like on the inside. And there's certain virtues that are important. What did she tell her were important? Claire?
Love.
Yes, to show love to people. Being helpful to people. What else did she say? Emma?
To be kind.
Being kind, doing nice things to people. What else did she say? Olivia?
Be honest.
Yes, to be honest, to speak the truth. What else did she say? Jocelyn?
Goodness.
Yes, being good and not being mean. That's the virtues that we ought to have inside of us. Those things are important, not just the way you look on the outside. All right? And it's also important, and you put this in the back of your mind, find someone like that when you get older. If you're ever going to be looking for someone, you boys looking for a girl and you girls looking for a man, see that they have those kind of virtues, not just, oh, are they handsome, are they beautiful. That's not really important the way my wife looks on the outside. I like her to look nice, but what's really important is the kind of heart she has. So you put that in the back of your mind. Get someone who has a kind and loving heart. You'd be a much happier person.
One day, Annie got scared when she noticed something strange happening to her friend. "Hey, what's happening to you?" asked Annie. "You're coming apart." "No, I'm not," laughed Katy. "When my skin gets too tight, I just grow some more. Then they get rid of the old skin." "Watch me," said Katy as she wiggled right out of her skin. "Wow!" squeaked Annie. "I've never seen anything like that before." "Oh, I just keep on doing this until I'm big and strong," explained Katy. One day, Annie was having a great time playing with Katy on some leaves hanging over the lake. Suddenly, a strong gust of wind came. It blew Annie off the leaf. Kaplop! Annie fell near a hungry fish. The fish started to swim towards Annie. Help me, screamed Annie. "A fish is coming to swallow me up." Quickly, Katy chewed off a big leaf. The leaf fell near Annie. Annie switched herself as fast as she could toward the leaf and climbed aboard, just in time. Shaking all over, Annie said, "Phew, was that ever scary?" Annie held on tightly as the wind blew her to shore. She jumped off the leaf and hurried back up the tree. She hugged Katy and said, thank you. You saved my life."
What is Annie doing here after she was rescued by the caterpillar? Andrew?
She was thanking the caterpillar.
Notice that Annie was very thankful what the caterpillar did for her. She was rescued by the caterpillar, otherwise she would have been eaten by the fish. And she's saying thank you. And I've seen children being so unthankful when their parents or their grandparents do something nice for them. And even you parents, sometimes they're unthankful for gifts that they receive. Learn to be thankful. It's a healthy sign of someone who has character when they can say those two magic words, thank you, when something nice is done for them.
Day after day, Annie and Katy laughed and played together. Then it happened again. Katy shed her skin. My, said Annie. You're getting bigger and bigger, and you're looking so different. What's that thing poking out of your head? It's a horn to scare away my enemies, replied Katy. One day, Katy said to Annie, I have to leave for a few weeks. Annie scratched her head. Why? Something really big is about to happen to me, answered Katy, and I must find a safe place to stay. But don't worry, I'll be back soon. I'm going to miss you very much, said Annie, wiping tears from her eyes. We had so much fun together. Don't be sad, said Katy as she began to leave. When I come back, we'll have more fun than ever. Annie waved goodbye as she watched her friend crawl away. Katy climbed high in the willow tree and tied herself to a branch. Before long, Katy changed into a chrysalis. Every day, Annie went to see what was happening to her friend. Often she would call out, Katy, are you okay? But Katy never answered. Annie hoped that her friend would return soon. One day, while Annie was watching the chrysalis, the whole thing began to shake. Oh, no, cried Annie. What's happening to my friend Katy? Something must be wrong. Annie put her head in her hands and began to cry. All of a sudden, the chrysalis began to crack. Then, as Annie watched in amazement, out popped a strange-looking head. Who are you? Demanded Annie. And what have you done with my friend? I am your friend, Katy the caterpillar. Only now I'm a butterfly. You're who? What? Asked Annie. I'm a butterfly now, grunted Katy. She jiggled and wiggled. Wait until I get out of this chrysalis, and then I'll explain. Annie could hardly speak. You look so different. That's what happens to us butterflies, said Katy. First, we come from a small egg as a caterpillar. As we continue to grow, we keep shedding our skin. Then we turn into a chrysalis. And finally, ta-da! Our bodies change into a butterfly. Wow! Exclaimed Annie. You're beautiful. Before I do anything else, said Katy, let me dry myself in the warm sun. This is amazing, said Annie, scratching her head. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I never would have believed it.
This is what really happens to butterflies. You know, we live in an amazing world. And I'm going to encourage you, open up your eyes. All right? We live in a wow universe. And what are some of the things that we see in life, in the world? What are some of the amazing things that we see? Okay, Emma?
Birds.
Yes, look at the birds. Just the ones that fly around in your neighborhood, just a simple sparrow. Or we have the blue jays, we have the robins. And you go to the zoo, you see all these colorful birds, some with big feathers, and some, like the parrots, they got all these beautiful colors. What else do we see? Jocelyn?
All the abilities that animals can do, like the cheetah, it can run really, really fast.
Yes, like a cheetah that runs very fast. And then there's animals that are very huge, like the giraffe with a big neck, and the elephants with their long trunk. And then we have small animals. There's small deer, there's larger deer, all right? There's zebras, there's horses, there's goats, there's sheep, there's all kinds of animals. Amazing world. What else do we see? Isaiah?
Many kinds of fish.
Yes, look at all the fish, like the sharks, and also the mammals, like whales and dolphins. And then there's smaller fish. I used to have tropical fish. And we had guppies, the tiny ones, that had the nice, colorful tails. And you got swordtails and all different kinds of fish. Catfish I had in a tank. And go to the aquarium, because there you'll see all kinds of beautiful fish, all kinds. Open up your eyes and see the wonders of this amazing world. What else do we see? Deshaun?
The colorful and the beautiful flowers.
Yes. The colorful and the beautiful flowers. My, just open up your eyes, even walking around your neighborhood. You know, it's springtime, and even in the summer you see flowers blooming. There's many beautiful things you can see in life. Also the trees. And some of the trees have beautiful flowers. Open up your eyes and be amazed at the wonders of this world.
After drying her wings, Katy said, "Hop on my back, Annie. We'll go for a ride." Up climbed Annie and away they went. Katy and Annie flew high above the trees and over Crystal Lake. They flew all around the countryside, visiting many wonderful places. "This is fun up here," shouted Annie. Then they flew over Annie's home. From above the treetops, Katy happened to see a spider and a crickety old cricket. "Look," she yelled, "it's Speckles and Crumbs." "Let's go say hi," said Annie. "Who's your new friend?" asked Speckles. "She sure is pretty," added Crumbs. "We'd love to have her as our friend." "It's Katy the caterpillar," laughed Annie. "You can't fool us," scoffed Speckles. "She's no ugly caterpillar," insisted Crumbs. "She's beautiful." Speckles walked over to the butterfly and sweetly asked, "Would you be our friend?" "You want me to be your friend?" asked the surprised Katy. "It's Katy," blurted Crumbs. "It really is." Speckles put on a great big smile. "Now that you're so pretty, we'd love to be your friends." "Why didn't you like me when I was a caterpillar?" asked Katy. "Well," stuttered Speckles. Crumbs tried to explain. "We didn't know you would turn into such a beautiful butterfly." "It shouldn't matter what someone looks like on the outside," answered Katy as she winked at Annie. "You never know. Something beautiful might be on the inside." Speckles and Crumbs lowered their heads.
How do Speckles and Crumbs feel now? Juliet?
Very, very sad and sorry.
Yes. Now they're miserable. And notice what Katy said, "I'm still the same as I was when I was a caterpillar." And learn to treat people that way. Just don't look on the outside, what people look like. Look at people from the inside and be kind to people, even those who are different. Don't be like Speckles and Crumbs. That's a very cruel way to live that way. And there's children that act that way. Don't you be like that. You be kind to people. You be nice to people. And they're miserable now. Annie, she was nice. She respected, even when the caterpillar was just a plain caterpillar. Now she's a beautiful butterfly. Now everybody likes the beautiful butterfly. And she's having fun. She's riding on top of the butterfly. This is a storybook, you know. And she's enjoying herself. But Speckles and Crumbs, they're miserable. So learn the lesson of this storybook by making other people happy.
Then Katy said to Annie, "Let's go and have some fun and fly again." "I'm ready," said Annie, giggling. Katy began flapping her wings. "Hey!" yelled Speckles. "What about us?" "Yeah!" shouted Crumbs. "We like you now." "Sorry," Katy called back. "If you didn't like me when I was a caterpillar, you wouldn't like me now. I'm still the same on the inside." "Oh," moaned Speckles and Crumbs. They were mad at themselves for having treated Katy so badly. "So long," said Annie and Katy as they waved goodbye. In a flash, they were on their way. Sadly, Speckles and Crumbs watched them until they could see them no more. Then Speckles turned slowly to Crumbs and groaned. "You know, Annie was right. She sure was," mumbled Crumbs. "Something beautiful was on the inside."
And now, an award-winning song from Character Kids.
Not quite as smart.